Okay, dude. TJ.
Reptilians failing to control themselves, deranged behavior, and other upsetting videos that show we are definitely cooked. This woman's husband began noticing unsettling changes in her behavior that didn't feel emotional or medical. It felt intrusive. Wanting answers, he stood in front of her and began reciting holy verses. Almost immediately, her body reacted. Her movements twisted in ways the human body shouldn't, and her face shifted into expressions that didn't feel like her at all. Viewers later noticed something chilling. Every time she looked at the holy book in her hands, her behavior intensified. It felt less like fear and more like resistance, like something within her was fighting back. Which is why people think she is possessed, but the demon hasn't made itself known that much yet. But let me know your opinions of this in the comments. Gaming turned dark. The night started off normal with Adam Park and his friends were gaming when strange noises suddenly came from his roommate's room. No one else was in the house, and that's what made it unsettling. The sounds didn't stop. They got louder. Adam pulled out his phone and started recording as the group tried to figure out what was happening. Panic set in fast. They ran for help, called the police, and even tried to step in themselves. But whatever was happening to the roommate, he was completely unreachable. The fear on their faces said everything. The video cuts without answers, and nothing on camera explains what state he was left in. Mysterious woman. During a late patrol in a deserted part of Mexico, a police officer noticed an elderly woman standing where no one should have been. She hadn't approached him from anywhere. She was just there. As the officer looked closer, something about her face felt deeply wrong, enough to trigger instant alarm. He didn't question it or try to investigate further. He left immediately. The encounter lasted only moments, but the footage and his reaction showed this was not normal by any stretch of the imagination. He's not alone. Moving into a new house was supposed to be a fresh start, but from the beginning, something felt off. One night, while walking past a bookstand, the homeowner noticed something that made him stop cold. 2 feet were clearly visible near the floor. No shadows, no movement. When he stepped back in shock, they were gone. The space was empty. That was the moment he knew someone or something had been there. After that night, the uneasy feeling never went away. Ritual on the shore. In 2006, a tourist walking along a quiet beach in China noticed a lone woman standing far from the water. She stood still, moving her arms like she was performing some kind of ritual. The man stopped to watch, trying to understand what he was seeing. The moment she realized she was being observed, everything changed. She turned and ran straight toward him. As the distance closed, her pale skin and distorted expression became clear, and nothing about her looked normal. The man didn't wait to understand more. He ran, leaving the beach behind. Demon drags woman. In this unsettling clip that comes from Pakistan, a woman was on the floor as a scholar recited verses, his voice steady, while her body reacted in ways that didn't feel human. Her breathing changed, her posture shifted, and the air felt heavy. Then it escalated. Her body suddenly slid backward across the floor, as if something unseen had grabbed her. No one touched her. No one could stop it. The people in the room froze, unsure of what they were witnessing. The video cut off right there, leaving behind the quiet fear that whatever was present was far stronger than anyone expected. Guard is unguarded. A security guard monitoring surveillance footage noticed a man inside one of the rooms behaving strangely. At first, it looked like discomfort. Then his body began twisting unnaturally, movements stiff and forced, as if control had been taken away from him. What unsettled the guard most wasn't the movement. It was the moment the man looked straight into the camera. His eyes locked onto the lens, and a slow, deliberate smile formed on his face. It didn't look confused or accidental. It looked intentional. Whatever had taken over him wanted to be noticed. Do you agree with that? Strange behaving president. Then in Serbia, 2014, President Vučić was speaking at an assembly, doing his thing, and suddenly he stuck out his tongue in a way that immediately looked off. Then his eyes rolled, almost too fast, almost like they weren't entirely his own. It lasted seconds, barely anyone noticed it in the room, and everyone moved on. But the leaked clip got around later. Watching it feels wrong in a way you can't explain. You know something happened, but no one wants to say it out loud. Eerie Japanese girl. In 2007, two men in Japan noticed a young girl standing inches from a wall, completely still. Her arms bent backward at sharp angles, moving in ways that didn't make sense. They watched in silence, unsure of what they were seeing. Then she turned her head slowly and noticed them. Without warning, she ran straight toward them at full speed. The camera shakes as they escape, cutting off before anything else is seen. What caused her movements was never explained, and that uncertainty is what stayed with viewers the longest. Chilling footage. This one honestly gave me chills. CCTV footage posted on the dark web shows a woman standing still in a dim room. Her face is completely hidden behind her long hair. She's holding a sign that simply says, "Help me," like she's asking someone, anyone, to notice. For a few seconds, nothing happens, until a strange figure slowly peeks out from the side. It doesn't look fully human, as its body looks a little distorted, like something's not right. Then, in a blink, it rushes towards both the woman and the camera. That's when the footage abruptly ends. No one knows who she was, or if that was even real. Creepy encounter. This one's straight out of a nightmare. A guy decides to check the attic of his old barn hut, probably just curious or maybe looking for something. He brings his camera along to document it, but once he gets up there, he sees it. Right behind him, a strange face, dark, with wide eyes and the creepiest little smile, just staring right into the lens. The guy freezes, realizing he's not alone. He quickly gets out of there, but no one really knows who or what that was. Creature or doll? This guy was home alone one night when the power went out. A few moments later, he hears something moving upstairs. Thinking it's just maybe the wind or something falling, he grabs his phone and goes to check it out. As he walks into the hallway, he sees a door cracked open slightly, and something is peeking through. He gets closer and sees what looks like a doll's head. It slowly moves and stares right at him. The guy freaks out and bolts downstairs, then runs to his friend's place and doesn't come back till morning. To this day, he has no clue what that thing was. Trail breakdown. While hiking alone on a remote trail, a young woman suddenly began acting in a way that alarmed everyone nearby. Her movements became stiff and unnatural before she dropped to all fours, growling and screaming without warning. Attempts to calm her didn't work. She didn't respond the way a frightened or injured person would. Authorities were called and carefully escorted her down the trail as she continued to behave erratically. The footage ends once she's taken away. Even after she later recovered, no explanation was ever given for what caused the sudden change. Possessed performance. Niken Salindri, a young Indonesian singer, was already known for her early success, but a leaked video left everyone unsettled. In it, she moves and acts as if she isn't fully aware of her surroundings, her expression strange and disturbing, almost like something unseen is controlling her. She collapses partway through, and the moment left viewers questioning what had really happened. Some say it was during an exorcism. Others suggest her rise to fame came with darker influences. But whatever the truth, the clip continues to puzzle and disturb anyone who sees it. Twisted woman. While walking through a park in South Korea, a man noticed a woman sitting on a bench. He thought she might need help and decided to approach her. But that was a huge mistake. When she lifted her face, her expression twisted into something disturbingly evil. Her behavior only grew stranger with time. Then, she started chasing him. That's when panic finally took over. He wondered if she was possessed or something else was going on with her psychologically. But either way, he knew it was safer to stay away. So, he started backing away while also refusing to take his eyes off her. On-air reptilianization.
At the other end, Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life.
Everything about the news segment felt polished and controlled. The anchor spoke clearly, confidently, until viewers noticed one detail they couldn't ignore. Each time she said the letter S, a strange hiss slipped through, and this started to happen as she was transforming as well, revealing her reptilian skin from beneath the human disguise. Even if you try to explain the skin changing, no one can explain the weird coincidence between her pronouncing the letter S and simultaneously her changing forms.
Other end, Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life.
Senate glitch. On June 15, 2010, U.S. General David Petraeus was speaking during a Senate hearing when something happened that viewers still talk about today. As he sat there, calm and composed, his expression suddenly shifted in a way that felt deeply off. For a brief moment, his face did not just look strained or tired. It appeared to change shape entirely. The skin around his eyes and mouth seemed to tighten and stretch in a way that did not look human at all. People nearby quickly shifted positions, blocking cameras and drawing attention away, but one angle kept rolling. In that footage, the change looked clear. His face didn't look reptilian, it literally transformed into one. Human form live slip. In this video, former U.S. Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner was standing in front of the cameras when something subtle but disturbing happened. Look at his ears, eyes, and cheeks. If it was a glitch, then why does he touch the very spot where he is changing into a reptilian? That isn't a coincidence, as he even tightened his jaw and tried his best to cover it by hiding his face. He thought he was smooth, but the camera caught it all. He immediately raised his hand and touched the exact area. This clip shows that the world we think we understand is already compromised. Andre the Creepy. Backstage interviews were nothing new for Andre the Giant, but this one stood out immediately. As he spoke, his eyes looked different, darker, almost reflective in an unnatural way. Then he smiled. His teeth appeared sharp and uneven, not like what people were used to seeing. Seeing someone so famous appear so altered made viewers uncomfortable. It felt like something was slipping through the cracks, right in front of everyone, unnoticed at the time. Watching it now, many felt it didn't look like a glitch or lighting issue, but something quietly revealing itself. Woman from the woods. Living near the woods already comes with unease, but this man had learned to live with the silence. One night, strange sounds pulled him outside, and that's when he saw her, standing near the trees in a plain white shirt. Then she started walking toward him, her legs bent wrong, moving with a rhythm that didn't belong to a person. As she got closer, her face shifted into something unfamiliar, something empty. The man didn't wait to understand. He ran inside and locked the door. She knocked calmly from the other side before eventually walking away. Exorcism, seen nationwide.
God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
Long before viral clips and live streams, television used to show what unsettled people the most. Just like this incident in Wellington, Florida, a major news network aired in the early 1990s. An exorcism involving a girl who claimed unseen entities had followed her for years. She didn't describe emotions, she described control. She named what she believed were multiple spirits influencing her actions. When the ritual began, her body reacted instantly. The priest struggled to keep her restrained as the prayers continued, yet he didn't stop. He did manage to exorcise the demons from her, but there is a theory he didn't completely succeed. I'll leave that for you to decide. Chaos inside church. Moments before a church ceremony was set to begin, the atmosphere shifted in a way no one expected. A woman from the church staff suddenly began acting erratically. She caused a scene and lunged toward a statue of Jesus, trying to damage it. Several people rushed to restrain her, but calming her down was far harder than it should have been. Her strength and resistance didn't match her size. Then, just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. She went still, regained control, and walked out quietly as if nothing had happened. Horrible highway figure. Late at night near a Texas highway, an Uber driver noticed something that didn't make sense. Ahead of him, a woman stood directly behind a moving truck, close enough that she should have been hit, but the truck kept going, as if she wasn't there at all. The driver slowed down, trying to understand how she could even remain standing. There was no fear on her face. The driver knew instantly she wasn't human and left the area. What became of the woman was never found out. So that leaves us with a perplexing question. Who or what was she? Comment down below. In the name of Jesus. During a recorded deliverance session, Rikard Hartikainen stood in front of a woman who was already screaming and resisting with extreme force. From the beginning, her reactions didn't look human. Her facial expression shifted rapidly. Her voice changed tone again and again, and her body fought as if something unseen was pushing back. Several moments in the footage looked out of control, as if the ritual might fail. Still, Rikard continued without stopping. After a long struggle, her movement slowed, her strength faded, and she finally rested. The recording ends shortly after, with the woman being exorcised. Camping gone wrong.
Oh no.
He stepped away from his campsite only to gather firewood, expecting to return to the quiet sounds of the forest. Instead, an old man stood there, tearing through his camp as if it didn't belong to anyone. The way he moved felt wrong, almost mechanical, and the silence around him made it worse. When the man finally walked away, the camper rushed back, hands shaking, grabbing whatever he could carry. That's when it escalated. The passenger window had been smashed. Before he could process it, the same old man appeared again, charging toward him. The footage ends as he runs, leaving everything behind. If you've had an experience like that, mention below in the comments. Let's share our craziest camping encounters.
Hey, please, I'm leaving.
Strange Mexican woman. Late at night on a road in Mexico, a local noticed a woman standing completely still near the shoulder. Her skin looked pale under the streetlights, her eyes reflected unnaturally, and her smile never changed. Instead of reacting, the man stayed where he was, recording as she slowly shifted her posture. Nothing about her movements felt normal. The air around her seemed heavy, like the road itself had gone quiet. After several long moments, she calmly turned and walked off into the darkness. The video cuts there, leaving behind the uncomfortable feeling that staying to watch might have been the most dangerous part. Reptilian President's Guard. The cameras stayed focused on the President Barack Obama, but the footage later pulled attention elsewhere. Standing just behind him, one bodyguard stood out the moment the video was slowed down. His head looked unnaturally smooth, his ears didn't sit right, and his stare never shifted. He didn't scan the crowd like the others. He watched everything at once, completely still. Frame by frame, his face looked less like skin and more like something worn over it. Reptilian on court. Nothing seemed strange during the live match. The crowd reacted, the play continued, and no one stopped the game. It was only during replay that something felt off. As one player lunged for the ball, his arm stretched far past a normal reach, bending the space between him and the floor. It lasted less than a second. Then everything snapped back into place. This wasn't a glitch, as it didn't affect anyone else, like how a camera glitch would. No replay showed any editing either. Mindless movements. She stood in public, yet didn't seem present at all. Her movements were stiff, delayed, and out of rhythm, like her body was following commands that arrived too late. There was no panic, no reaction to people around her, just motion without intent. Clips like this kept appearing online, each one different, but familiar in tone. Watching them together created an uneasy pattern. It no longer felt isolated. It felt gradual, like something pressing into human behavior and learning how to move us from the inside. Cult sign. The interview had been moving along normally until attention shifted to Mark Zuckerberg's hoodie. The change in him was immediate. His posture tightened, his expression stiffened, and the calm tone he carried earlier faded. When he was asked about it, he hesitated, then slowly removed the hoodie. Underneath was a symbol that didn't resemble any brand or design people recognized. Later, clips of that interview spread online, replayed again and again. Tied with long-running reptilian theories around powerful figures, that symbol felt less accidental and more like something never meant to be seen. New York Zombie. Everyone knows New York is loud and busy, but now it also got really creepy. This man moved through the streets in a very eccentric way. His steps felt delayed, his posture stiff, and his face showed no clear emotion. People nearby slowed down, watching him pass, unsure why their instincts felt uneasy. Online, theories spread fast. Some believed he was part of a hidden experiment. Others felt he was something wearing a human shape. What made the footage unsettling was how natural the city kept moving around him, as if no one noticed the warning standing right in front of them. The Man in Black. Office cameras captured a moment that felt quietly wrong. A man dressed fully in black walked in with no urgency, no hesitation. He spoke only a few words to the woman at the desk. Her reaction changed instantly. She stopped typing, stood up, and followed him without resistance. There was no fear on her face, no confusion, just obedience. The man never touched her. His presence alone seemed enough. The two walked out of frame and never returned. The receptionist has never been found, and no investigation was ever carried out. Also suspiciously, the camera company who recorded this video also went out of business 3 months afterwards. Obama's pheromones.
There you go, you okay? I'm right here.
Public events are meant to feel safe and controlled, but these moments felt different. At one gathering, a woman near Barack Obama suddenly moved backward without being touched, her body reacting as if something unseen had stepped between them. In another event, a woman standing behind him stared blankly, her face tightening before she collapsed. Both incidents happened close to him, both caught on camera. Nothing was explained. To many viewers, these moments felt like brief cracks in reality, reminders that something unseen operated close to power, quietly shaping what humans were allowed to notice.
This happens when I talk too long.
Evil in Saudi. So during this official event with the Saudi royal family, people were watching the broadcast like usual, and then the camera caught the king's hand. And honestly, it looked wrong. His fingers were long in a way that just didn't feel human, and the way they moved, even just for a second, it was stiff, unnatural. It was enough to make you pause and think, wait, what am I even seeing? People started talking about it online, saying it didn't look human at all, more like something reptilian. You can't unsee stuff like that. Hissing reporter. Back in 2009, on CNBC during Squawk Box, Joe Kernan got into a heated debate. You'd expect raised voices, maybe a gesture or two, right? But instead, right in the middle, he hissed at the guest. A real, sharp hiss. Not a joke, not a slip of the tongue.
Can't buy one of theirs. Open up the market. Quid pro quo, Clarice.
People were stunned because humans don't act like this. No matter how angry or frustrated they get, they might swear or something else, but not hiss. So what do you think made him hiss, if not to accidentally reveal his reptilian side?